Mario Kart World has 30 unique tracks, ranging from glistening snowy retreats to sand-laden sunny resorts. But which one is the best to live in? Today, we're going to try and answer that. Well, I'm going to try. Ever since I was little, I've always enjoyed roaming around in games and imagining what life would be like. And I know I'm not the only one. I know some of you try to drive as nicely as possible in GTA, maybe even picked a house and a driveway to pull up in, or called dibs on places to live with your friends or siblings in other games. The absolute peak of this, and I will try not to talk too much about it because don't get me started, but it was Woohoo Island from Wii Sports Resort, and oh my god, I wanted to live here so much it hurt. Back off if you think you're getting Summerstone Castle on the lake, by the way. That's mine. Mario Kart World is no exception to this. It is somewhere for everyone. And whilst the housing situation at large does leave a bit to be desired, why are there so many people sleeping on benches and hauling camping rucksacks? It does seem as though most tracks have some form of accommodation. Ideally also access to various foods, transportation, recreational activities, and just really nice aesthetics. I have roughly sorted the tracks from least desirable to most, and there are 30 tracks to sort through, so let's just get started. Dry Bones Burnout. It's dusty, crusty, and boiling hot. Even if you wanted to live here, good luck surviving with the air quality. I do though enjoy the Mexican-inspired decorations and paintwork, and there are a few purple windows which suggests that some people do live here, but no, it's not enough. I'm also pretty sure that this place only offers snacks food-wise, which I'm sure sounds great if you're a child who thinks this is a wicked place to live. At slot number 29, Warios Stadium. This one is not for me. It's so rusty and it's going to be so loud. There does seem to be a lot of housing though, looking to the perimeter of the stadium, but you won't catch me in there. Wario Shipyard. Whilst I do think this place has a really unique feel, unless you want to perpetually roleplay as a stranded pirate, it's just not going to work. I spy windows in some of the turrets, so it is doable, but it kind of reminds me of like a fantasy prison. And imagine dealing with the damp and the mold. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include the surrounding areas around the various tracks, but I think I will in some cases. And there are some nice little beachy islands to the south of the shipyard, but they don't add enough appeal to bump it higher on my ranking. Choco Mountain. What have they done to you? Where are my brownie layered hills and fudgy slopes? What is this? The mountain has been carved beyond recognition and it's the least Choco it's ever looked. I can't see any houses and I don't want to pitch a tent next to a muddy puddle. I can get donuts elsewhere. No thank you. At 26 is Airship Fortress. The elevation is cool and I think you would be entitled to one of the smallest ships if you lived here. And the Fortress Tower does have a sweet little bakery at the top, which is a welcome addition. But I don't think you would get the entire airship to yourself, and it's literally a factory. It's dangerous, so no. Desert Hills is next, and I just think it's very peaceful here. Enjoying a pita plate by the waterfall after a long day of archaeological excavation sounds nice, but realistically it's probably awfully hot, and there's not much to do here. And beyond a tent, I don't think it would be appropriate to build a home here. Now, this may be controversial, but at 24, I've put Rainbow Road. First of all, you can't free roam here. Maybe it's like an elitist gated community, but it is a shame because there is such great potential here. The enchanted crystal forest and an entire space station. This is such an iconic track, and it pains me to put it so low, but I kind of like the idea that no one should live here really. It's too special. Dino Jungle. I actually never personally watched Jurassic Park and thought, yeah, I want to live there. And I don't like that the laboratory exists. I like it much better now that the dinosaurs have reclaimed it, but it does seem like quite the hazard, what with the shattered glass ceiling, and we should probably just leave the dinosaurs alone. Mario Circuit. I guess it's good if you love working on cars, and you could live in the observation tower in the center, or be a trucker, but it's not for me. I think this is one of those maps that is really just a nice racetrack, and it doesn't need to be anything more. Next is Great Question Block Ruins. Not for those who are afraid of heights. Can you imagine getting up and down from those ruins every day? It's giving me whiplash just looking at it, and I'm not sure where exactly you would stay. The grounds below do have some potential. The marshy wetlands are actually quite calm, but you'd have to settle for pitching a tent here, and there are just better options. Dandelion Depths. If you have allergies or hay fever, absolutely not. But the underground area is just so pretty, with the stalactites and the fireflies, and even though realistically it may not be a good place to live, it's just too pretty to pass up. It also reminds me of Wooded Kingdom, so it's staying here. Now I'm kind of going to lump these two tracks together. It's Toad's Factory and DK Spaceport. They are both very colourful and bright, but very industrial. I don't really want to live somewhere that feels like I need to wear a high vis to walk around. DK Spaceport is slightly higher due to it being at sea, and I guess the rocket is pretty cool, but yeah, not really feeling either. Boo Cinema. Now this one I could easily see a lot of people liking this place, a lot, and wanting to live here. And whilst the indoor of the abandoned cinema could be renovated, or even kept as a large communal space, the exterior does show multiple windows as offshoots from the main atrium, so I am imagining smaller apartments. The popcorn and drink combo is cute, but I would just like a little bit more variety in the food options. You would also have to share your space with the dangerous purple sludge and the various boo ghosts, but I know that would actually be a plus for some people. Now, Sky High Sunday. I get it, I'm instinctively drawn here, the bright colours, the pinks, and when it's super sunny outside, this place is incredible. But we need to mostly think practically here, and it's just not great for living. Also, I'd end up eating my own house. The base of the track, the Candy Forest, is a hazy delight, and it has a comforting stillness. But something I can't move on without talking about is that just to the side of Sky High Sunday, there is a colony of penguins with the classic fire in a barrel. I'm sorry, but my headcanon is that they have been displaced by the ice cream shop, and I just can't support that by living here. Faraway Oasis. I love that the animals can roam free and the temperature looks like it would be just right, not too warm. But I'm not really seeing much housing opportunities beyond, I suppose, a riverboat. Regardless, I actually think that this space is better kept for the animals, like with the dinosaurs, and I wouldn't want to intrude. Mario Bros Circuit. Cars the movie. It's Cars the movie. Whilst I really enjoy this area, the Red Rocks, the diner, it feels cozy. I think it is better served as a rest stop, and not somewhere you would reside for longer. Koopa Troopa Beach. Now this is Party City. The Pianta podium dances, the water sports. Again, aside from a 10, I don't know where exactly you would stay, but as a destination holiday for a spring break, it seems great. There are many activities to do, a lively atmosphere, but long term, I'm not sure. Okay, this is getting serious now. Bowser's Castle. Some of you will see the vision, but I understand if you don't. It's a classic. I'm a little sad it's not more reminiscent of the one from the Wii, but this will do. There's a great lava pit for your enemies, and if you told someone you lived here, they would be intimidated for sure. And I like to believe that most, if not all of the food served in the little food court is spicy. Now, I have to clarify, you wouldn't be getting the whole castle for yourself, but maybe a nice turret. You would have to account for the heat if you moved here, and it's going to be hot, like extremely hot. I mean, you're in a volcano. Plus, everything you own smells like smoke, and again, the air quality. Moo Moo Meadows. All the cottagecore girlies, it's time. We all love cow. However, what made Moo Moo Meadows so iconic before was its rustic charm. Yes, whilst it still feels very much like a farm still, Mario Kart World is just so overbearing with the advertising. And I'm not the biggest ice cream fan, sorry. It makes sense that this is served here, and what a unique delicacy, but is it creamy cheese flavoured? That's double dairy, and I don't think I could manage it. Living in a windmill does sound quaint, but wouldn't it be noisy? Overall, it seems very laid back and chill here, but I also can't shake the fear of cow biker gangs. Starview Peak. I love, love, love it here. I think it is arguably the most aesthetically pleasing area, and before even making this video, I thought this would be a hard track to beat. The observatory is a gorgeous icy palace, bearing witness to the Aurora Borealis. It offers great views, and you can even glide from the highest point, perfect for getting around. Inside there is an extensive public library with some food stalls, but something I just know I would never get on with is the cold. I really wish that the library was actually indoors, and not as exposed as it is. The books are getting snowed on, and so are the benches. There does seem to be a lot of rooms available given the windows, but everything just feels so icy. It lacks that homey warmth. The last track in A tier is Whistle Stop Summit. Now, when I first got here, my immediate thought was Birmingham. Like Birmingham, UK to be exact. But if you know, maybe you know, like by the canal or the red brick, No? Okay. I do think it has a warmth to it, beyond the coal burning, and I bet you could get a really nice coffee here, and then go on a hike. It is also great for train enjoyers and just transportation in general. The first track I have listed in S tier for the best places to live in Mario Kart World is Acorn Heights. Ever heard of a little place called Pixie Hollow? The Shire, perhaps? This one is for the fantasy enjoyers like myself. There is also a variety of accommodations available, little hobbity houses, toadstools on stilts, and hanging acorns. I will say though that this place does seem a little bit harder to get around for those who cannot fly. Those acorn houses I mentioned, I'm not sure how you would get in there. Same applies to the toad houses actually. It would definitely be a lifestyle shift, but it's just too cute and whimsical here. And the honey blossom orange bee pancakes look so good. Cheep Cheep Falls is next, the track of perpetual autumn. Every year I get excited for when the trees change, and I think autumn is such a comforting time. I can see myself going for a walk along the lake with the little benches and lanterns. I think you could have one of the houseboats here too, and the assortment of food is amazing. The little Inari dish is right up my street. Another plus for this track is the location, with an almost equal distance to Peach Stadium and Salty Salty Speedway. The reason this area is not higher is because it almost feels too serene and sacred to actually live here. In 6th place, Shy Guy Bazaar. First of all, it's a bazaar, so a great place for shopping and local goods. The streets are lined with flowers and spices, and it's all in the grounds of the palace. It is a gated community, but it doesn't feel crammed, with the winding streets and lots of little houses. The focal point of the area is the palace, and it's beautifully ornate, and it is open to the public. The only real downsides of this area, for me, is again the heat, and the use of elephants' labour. But where else has flying carpets? On the complete opposite of the temperature scale is DK Pass, a ski resort. Now, have I ever been skiing? No, but I would like to go. And I'll be honest, aside from the various winter activities you can do here and resort amenities, the main draw for me are the log cabins. They just look so cozy, and at night with all the lights and the big lake. I'm also a big fan of the moose that just roam freely in this area. Onto Peach Stadium. Whilst this is very racetrack forward, I really love this place because of the surrounding areas. I'm a sucker for a cherry blossom tree, and with all the pinks and white stone, it just makes me happy here. Plus, Peach Castle, in whatever form, feels like a dream home. Whilst I'm pretty introverted, the hustle and bustle of this place is infectious. And again, great food variety. I imagine apartments are available on the castle walls, but the sweet little toad cottages around the stadium are where I would like to live. In 3rd place, I have put Crown City. I mean, come on, it's a seaside city, with the high-rise downtown and sweeping beaches. The scale here is so good, and there's just something so inviting about animated cities. You would want for nothing here. I would personally like living on the outskirts of town, with a sea view. Downsides really are the downsides with most cities. Loud and crowded. Now we have the top 2. I honestly really struggled to place these, and I think they are pretty interchangeable, but for me, Salty Salty Speedway is currently in 2nd place. This is my Woohoo Island town. I think a smaller, less industrial town like this is just so nice. The name of the town is actually Lagoon City, and it's clearly Venetian inspired. There are so many different housing options here too. And the smell of the salt air, imagining morning coffee walks along the harbour, pizza lunches in front of Mermaid Birdo, the rolling fields enclosing the town give you enough of that countryside feel as to not miss it. I really, really like it here. And now onto 1st place. If you've been paying attention, you already know which track is here. It's none other than Peach Beach. From afar, this is a fairy tale castle, and the real life inspiration was recognizable immediately. It's a dream of peachy pink and blue tile, surrounded by white sand. It's a resort hotel, but you could absolutely buy an apartment here, and everything is so well maintained. The gardens and the foliage. I do wonder whether the road leading up to the resort disappears with the tide, as that would be a bit of a practical issue, and whilst there may not be the same variety of stores here, I like to think that you could pop over to Salty Speedway for weekly groceries. But here you could wake up to the chimes of bells from the Abbey, rent out a sailboat and eat strawberry cake on the beach. For now and for me, this is the best place to live in Mario Kart World. Okay, so that was my ranking. If you disagree with me or have somewhere in particular you think would be the best place to live, do let me know. You can always give this video a like if you liked it, and maybe even subscribe. Before I go, I wanted to give an honourable mention to the windmills opposite Peach Beach. If I wasn't concerned about the mechanics of a windmill, I think this would actually be such a lovely place to live. Okay, see you next time.